James was just such a kind and beautiful soul. One of my favorite memories about him was he was always checking in on me at college, at high school, whatever we were doing, he was always there for me. And I appreciate everything he does for me and my fellow classmates.
Thank you, James, for always staying on your toes and asking the most bizarre questions that are the most fun at the same time. And you always were asking me how me and Charlie were doing, and so I thank you for that, James. We'll never forget you.
When it comes to James, I would put money on the fact that there is not a single person walking this earth that could have anything bad to say about him. What an honor it is to be able to have been blessed by his friendship in this lifetime. I know I'm not speaking for myself when I say this, but he loved so loudly and so deeply. There's not a soul that he didn't touch. He will be missed so greatly.
Memories of James. He always made me laugh, and he was my best friend. You will be missed. And I also have one more memory. He would always make me smile whenever I'm down.
The very first time I met James, I had gotten a phone call from one of our mutual friends being like, hey, buddy, you still up? And not in like a cool way, but in a like, hey, I need a favor and it's 10:30 on a Tuesday. So I take out my retainer and I meet our friend and James at my door and I'm like, hey, I'm JT. And he's like, hey, I'm James. I'm like, that's great. And long story short, while they sit on my couch and catch their breath, I find out that I, one, am now an accomplice to a crime because I'm harboring fugitives. Two, I'd help these dumb punks punk the police. And that was great because then James and I became friends online. And he was such a kind, sweet supporter, would check in a couple times a year. Would always comment on like the silly things I post and always put a smile on my face. And I know that's something he's going to be remembered for because that's who James was for so many humans.
I best knew James through high school choir. Our junior year for Showtime, we did the Full House theme song and he played the role of Uncle Joey. Not only did he have an awesome singing voice, every rehearsal he always brought with him a lighthearted goofiness and a lot of laughter and really embodied that funny uncle character. I had a blast working with him.
I have a lot of random little memories of James because we went to middle school and high school together and did a number of different activities together, but mainly what I remember is that James was always kind to everyone. He always remembered everyone, and even if he felt like he barely knew you, he would talk to you with kindness. And I always felt like even in my most awkward times in middle school, I always felt seen and heard by him, and I really appreciated that.
I want to say thank you, James, for always being yourself, always being compassionate and loving towards others, and just spreading your kindness to everyone. And there was a time where we were in the basement, he was having a sleepover, there was multiple people over, and for basically the entire night we spent it he was trying to convince me to do the rap in Baby by Justin Bieber, the Ludacris part, and I think we probably took 100 different takes, and we never got a good one. But because of you, James, I now know that whole rap, so thank you.
The year that James was in my 6th grade class was honestly my favorite year of teaching. He was such a kind, silly, goofy kid, and I loved seeing and watching his friendship with Josh, Nico, and Chandler. They were the best of friends, and they were kind to everyone, and just helped everyone out. One of my favorite memories was actually when my car got stolen that year, and the class raised money to buy me a new car and put it in a paper box that they made. I think it was like $26 or $23, and it was just the sweetest thing, and I will remember that forever.
Me and James were really good friends. I won't miss James. He was a good guy. We used to always have fun on IPS. We used to laugh and play around, and we'd throw ice cubes at one another, and we'd laugh about it. He was always a good guy. We'd always show up to IPS lunches, always get excited to see me. We'd always text. We'd always be playing games and stuff together. We were like best friends. I'm going to miss you, James. You're my brother for life.
I just want to remember James for his outgoing, caring, and super welcoming and open-hearted personality. He truly was a very genuine human being, and I will always miss him. Thank you for everything, James.
My name's Katie to start with. Me and James went to South together. I remember always going over to James's house, and we'd always jump on the trampoline all the time. We'd just sit out there and have long conversations. We'd play basketball. His mom would make us snacks, or we would just go find stuff to eat. I just remember James always being so good to me and so sweet to me. Like, although as much as he cared about me and wanted to be my boyfriend, like, he respected me. I'm so sorry. I can't even imagine what you guys are going through. But I hope that this video does show you guys how much love people really did have for James and how much he impacted all of our lives. He impacted so many people. And for that, I will always have love for James.
Hey James, it's Chandler. I just wanted to hop on here and just tell you how grateful I am to have gotten to know and experience all of who James Lynch is. I think we met in kindergarten at Corpus Christi and did a lot of life together. And even though we weren't that close, you never failed to stop me in the halls or when you saw me around town just to check in on me and see how I was doing. And that just made me feel so loved. And you didn't only do that with me, but you did that with numerous amounts of other people, even people that you didn't know. And I just really admire that character and that love that you had for people to make them feel included and just to show your kindness. And so, James, we're so grateful for you. Everything about you, even your goofy self. We love you, miss you so much, and we love your family. And we can't wait to see you one day. Bye, James.
When I think about James, I don't really have a specific memory that stands out. He was just, a great guy, always nice to me. When I first moved to Lawrence, I didn't know too many people. He always treated me with respect, and something I always love about him.
I don't quite have a favorite memory with James because every memory was a good one, but from sharing a soccer field with him in middle school to sharing a stage with him in high school and everywhere in between, I can confidently say that somehow James just had this magnetic personality that was able to brighten anyone's day. If you were having a bad day, you could find James and he would somehow find a way to make it better. And that was something I really appreciated.
James was a great guy, and I know he'd be deeply missed by everybody who knew him.
James, I love that when I picked you up for school before you could all drive, you would jump in the car and say, "Hi, Mom, what's special about today?" And then you would discuss something that you found fascinating about your surroundings, sports, snoring in his sleep, a new Indian dish you had discovered, or how popping your ankle was so satisfying. I love that you were interested in others' thoughts and in sharing your own. I love that when Nico went to your house for hours or days on end, he was loved by all those in your home as if he was in his own home. I love that your family welcomed our family into their lives. I love that you love deeply James, all in, 100%, always. I love that I knew you, James. I love you, James.
So, one of my favorite memories of James is he was giving me a ride home and we were going through music and just talking about our lives, and a song came on that I had never heard before, and it absolutely electrified him. He started singing and screaming and bouncing and shaking the car, and because I had never seen that side of him, it really touched me, and I was really excited to be able to experience that part of him. And if there's anything I'll always be grateful for James about, it's just that he always knew how to keep a smile on our faces. He always knew how to be the silliest guy in the room. And so I'm really glad that I had the opportunity to know him. Happy birthday.
Hi James, just wanted to express our gratitude to you.
Thank you for always being the most welcoming and inclusive person, from when I first joined the swim team
To Corpus Christi way back when.
To going on the choir trip with you.
And Showtime.
Thank you for always just being such a genuine, caring person and making everyone in this world feel welcome. And thank you for spreading the kindness that you have to all of us.
Sending all our love to you and your family.
One of my favorite memories with James is one time I was just walking down the hallways of Lawrence High and having a really rough day, was really feeling anxious, and it was one of those moments where you kind of just want to disappear, and James looked me around the eyes like, "Hi Clara," and he smiled big. He's like, "It's good to see you and I hope you have a good day." And sometimes when you're having a bad day, it hurts
see like, oh, you know, I hope you have a good day. You're like, you don't even know what kind of day I'm having. But James made you feel known and made you feel heard and made you feel loved. And he was just so genuine and authentic about that. And that, you know, boldness of just saying hi to somebody who looks like they're having a bad day, or just being kind to a stranger, is something that I will carry with me forever.
James was always full of life and fun and adventure, and he had a lot of friends and also lots of cousins. Price and James had a lot of adventures and fun together, and those will be memories that will never ever leave. James was full of life and curiosity and could get excited about something instantly, and his enthusiasm for new things, new experiences was contagious. And I wish I had a little bit of that in me. So in your honor, James, I'm going to try and be a little more adventurous and be an early adopter and not a laggard. Okay. I love James dearly. We will all miss him.
James, I just wanted to say thank you for your smile, your boundless energy, and your goofy laugh. Thank you for being such a good friend to my brother and a fun presence around my family. You're always welcome at our house.
Hello, my name is Sedona Keegan. I'm making this video because James was one of my closest friends through middle school especially, and also in high school all the way up to my senior year. We used to call each other brother and sister just in a fun way because we were really close, especially in those middle school years. So I'm making this video just to say how much gratitude I have for that friendship, how happy I am to have had those memories with him, and just to say that he brought an immense amount of light to my years growing up, because growing up is hard. And if I wouldn't have had James throughout those years, things would have been a little more fuzzy and tough to get through. And he made my life a lot easier to get through those years. So thank you, James. I will definitely miss you.
My most vivid memory of James was when his dog Sport died, and James laid out here in the backyard by Sport's grave for hours. James, you were such a tender-hearted person. We love you.
About 3 years ago, Eric and Karen moved into my house, and I've seen a lot more of James because of that. One thing that I recall about James is that every time he would pass my room, if the door was open, he would invariably raise his hand and say, "Love you, Grandma." He never missed it once. Also, I remember that at a family reunion one time, things were going a little bit haywire, and I felt like I was responsible for what was going on, and he knew that I was upset. And though he was 20 or 30 feet away playing with friends, he sensed that, left his friends, walked clear across the auditorium, and whispered in my ear, "It's okay, Grandma. It's okay, I love you." That was James.
Hi, I just want to express how thankful I am that I got to grow up with James so close, and that I got to experience his love, kindness, and joy throughout all the different stages of my life. I feel like I'm a better person because I was able to be close with James. I'm so thankful that I got to be close with Grace and then also experience James throughout that relationship. And I'm so thankful that Davis was able to be close with James with the swim team, and seeing them together has brought me so much joy. And I think that James has made me and Davis and everyone else that he's interacted with a better person because of his love and his kindness, and it's so evident how he left a mark on all of our hearts. And I'm just so thankful, and the Lynch family is just so loving, and everyone can feel it, and I hope they feel it too.
Some of my best and most recent memories with James
revolve around music, both playing and sharing music. And his enthusiasm for music and different types of music was very contagious, and he gave me a better appreciation for music.
I knew James as a kind of second brother from about 3rd to 7th grade. Knew him as well in high school, but 3rd to 7th grade are like my core James memories. I remember in 3rd grade, he and a friend of his had written this rap about McDonald's, and if you went to Schwegler, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But Grace and I performed that in front of the entire school, and then proceeded to perform it for the McDonald's board of directors in Lawrence. And I think that James was probably really proud of that. It was a really fun moment, I think, for all of us. We even wore hamburger earrings. So all love for you, James.
Hi. James was my cross-country, choir, and swimming buddy, and which means that we were in the nicest clothes we'd ever worn and in the least amount of clothes we'd ever worn together at different times. So sweating and singing and swimming. I'm gonna miss the times and the smiles and the gift of knowing that I was loved by James Lynch.
Something that always stood out to me about James was that he could make anyone feel welcome. And I mean personalities and interests of individuals that would never ever meet otherwise. He could make them get along and connect and form these deep relationships. And I think it really takes a really special person to do that, and that's exactly what he was.
I'm gonna keep this short and sweet, but it deeply saddens me to be making this video right now, but thank you, James, for every day being who you were, and I'm so thankful to have all the memories I do with you, and you were an amazing brother to me and to all of our friends. I love and I miss you so much, buddy. It still just doesn't feel real to me, and I really wish it wasn't, but miss you, Lunchbox.
So, James, I didn't know you as well as I would have liked to, but I just want to say thank you for always being your authentic self and for treating me like I was a good friend whenever you saw me, for always knowing my name and treating me like a fellow brother. You were always that guy, and I'm really grateful for that, and I would like to see more people like you in this world.
Something nice James did for me was, so when I was going through chemotherapy treatment, he offered to take me to chemotherapy, and I was like, oh no, like, no, it's okay. He didn't like have any motivation to get up for anything, and so I was saying like, oh, like I wouldn't get up either if I had nothing to do. He ended up taking me to chemotherapy, and he took me a few more times after that. We'd planned to go to the movies together. And on the way to chemotherapy, we always bonded over music. We'd show each other our playlists, and I don't know, it gave me time to not think about what I'm going up to KU Med to do, and I guess made him get up and do something nice for someone. So I think that was very sweet of James. James has always been sweet since I've known him. I've known him since middle school, since way back when he had a crush on one of my best friends. And James was just always very sweet, very nice, and just a friendly guy, and always made friends with whomever and never judged anyone. So it was very tragic to hear about him. But rest in peace, buddy. And I have nothing but good things to say about him and good memories.
Hey, James, and family. I don't have a lot to say. I just appreciated James for his years of friendship, and I'm gonna miss him forever, and I love him dearly. So, love you guys, love James.